What's going on, Facebook? Hey, I won't be before you long. Just give me a few minutes. I want to talk about tonight the discomforts of purpose, the discomforts of purpose, the issues of purpose, and what we emotionally deal with and psychologically deal with in our spirit and as individuals when it comes to living purpose. The discomforts and what it's about. I'm just going to use a reference in Judges 6 when it deals with Gideon. Gideon, I don't want to call him a biblical character, but he's a person. And sometimes when we use biblical references out of the Bible, we automatically go to the Bible as though it's a Bible order or some sort of Bible ending to it, when really the Bible is really giving us the history of people who've had encounters with God. And some people seen God and some people did not. They had issues with their heart. They had issues with their feelings when it came to them doing something that was beyond themselves. And so it's for notes now, it's in Judges 6. You've read it before. Judges 6:12. When it says that then the angel of the Lord came and sat beneath the tree at Ophrah, which belonged to Joash, the clan of Abiezer. Gideon, son of Joash, was threshing wheat at the bottom of the winepress to hide the grain from the Midianites. And so the angel of the Lord appeared to him and said, "Mighty hero, the Lord is with you." Sir, Gideon replied, "If the Lord is with us, why has all this happened to us? And where are all the miracles of our ancestors that they told us about? Didn't they say the Lord brought us out of Egypt? But now the Lord has abandoned us and handed us over to the Midianites." Then the Lord turned to him and said, "Go with the strength you have and rescue Israel from the Midianites. I'm sending you." And so Gideon says, "But Lord, how could I rescue Israel? My clan is the weakest in the whole tribe of Manasseh, and I am the least of my entire family." All right. Sometimes some of the discomforts that come with purpose is not really the ministry of what we're going to do, but it's how we feel about ourselves. Because sometimes destiny comes to change the way we've grown comfortable in thinking of ourselves. And sometimes the discomfort in thinking greater of ourselves than we ever thought becomes a great issue. And I begin to see now God is not really just calling us to go and do something, but he's calling us to a different place of seeing ourselves. People have seen us in a certain way that causes no contention. And finally, we're becoming something that's creating contention within us because we're seeing ourselves differently than we've seen before. And it's stirring a contention of will and understanding. It's causing contention. People are seeing us and not liking what we're becoming, and we're afraid of what they're saying to us. We are afraid of what they're saying to us. And so we want to keep the peace, which isn't really peace, but we want folks to continue to shut up. We hate what we're being called into. It's not a matter of God calling us to go preach or God calling us to go build a church, but if I actually do what he's saying I'm capable, I have to rethink myself. And I don't know if I'm ready to rethink myself. I don't know if I'm ready to be responsible. I don't know if I'm ready to have intelligence. I don't know if I'm ready for responsibility. I don't know if I'm ready to be the go-to person. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready to be the go-to person all the time. I don't know if I'm ready to disconnect from ignorance and fear and irresponsibility and doubt and being late. I'm comfortable with having flexibility in my schedule. I'm comfortable with not having to be on time. I'm comfortable with not being the reason something wins or fails. I don't mind participating, but I don't want that thing to be on me. I don't want that burden to be on me. So there is a discomfort in purpose because now I have to receive myself differently. I just can't make myself mature when I'm fighting. I actually have to become mature. I just can't tell you how I want you to see me. I have to be what I want you to see. I have to actually be what I'm wanting you to see. I just can't say respect me. I just can't say you're not supposed to say this to me. Why do people always say this kind of stuff to me? People need to, you can't determine what people are going to say to you, but you can always be what you need them to see. There is a discomfort to purpose. Are you ready to be someone different? God is calling all of us not into a ministry per se, but a new way of perceiving ourselves. Gideon said, I'm the least of my family. So when you already believe you're the least, you don't have to do much. No one is expecting anything extraordinary from me because I'm the least of the house. No one is expecting anything extraordinary from me because I am the least. I could use that lease card, so you're not going to ask me to do any miraculous thing because I have nothing that you expect anything great from. So if I can play that card, I could live through life and no one will expect anything incredible out of me. I can be quiet. No one has to say anything. See, that's the discomforts of purpose when you've grown accustomed to not making a contribution and you could just live and be hidden. How many of you know what I'm talking about? I don't have to be seen. I don't have to. I could sneak through the quarters and get things done. The discomforts of purpose is I have to rethink myself. And if I rethink myself, it's going to create some tension. I have to rethink myself. Now God's calling me to move from fearful thinking and fearful self-perception. Now I have to move away from it. And I have to do it. And now I have to be relied on. Now the greatest ministry is what I'm giving myself. My greatest ministry is not my gift and how I could help people, but how can I help myself? How has this great call helped me in myself? How has this great call helped me as a spirit? How has it helped me in my own mind and in my own way? Now I have to see myself different. Am I ready to create tension? I'm not trying to, but I'm about to become something that you never allowed me to be. Now I'm about to allow myself to be it. So many times you could hold other people responsible for keeping you in the prison of complacency. Now God is calling us to get out of it. Now God is demanding and requiring you and I to get out of it. Now I can't hold you responsible for this mental self-imposed prison of mine. Now I have to get out of it. Now I have to embrace my strength and my power. Now I have to embrace it and I have to be it. Am I ready to rethink myself? Am I ready to no longer be the least of my house? He said, how can I deliver my country? We are the weakest clan. He bought into it to the point he just let everything happen. Gideon bought into being weak, so he let everything happen. We are no match for the Midianites because my clan, my family, we're the weakest. So why are you coming to me as though I can do something about it? Why are you saying I'm a mighty man? Don't you know we are the weakest of everyone? He felt in his heart there is nothing I can do. Nobody's expecting nothing from me, so therefore I'm overwhelmed. The greatest call of destiny is when you have to rethink your own strength. How many of you guys right now, before I go, have rethought your strength? You've rethought yourself. Thank you. Thank you, Penny. And blessings to everybody. How many of you have rethought yourself? The discomforts of purpose is when you have to think greater of yourself than you ever had. Because when you're accustomed to being behind the scenes, you're uncomfortable when it's time to step out front. Not in ministry, but in the front of yourself. Now you got to step from being behind yourself to in front of yourself and see yourself. Now you have to do it. Now I have to see myself great. Not just great for church, but when I see myself great, there is going to be a shift that happens in the climate of the atmosphere, and I'm going to be picked. I'm going to have to see myself. I just can't say, y'all, I can't blame y'all for looking at me low when I'm already looking at myself low. Sometimes we're angry when people confirm or affirm how we already see ourselves. When people see you low, it's because you've already connected with being low. But now I have to see myself high. I have to see myself greater. And that might be uncomfortable when you're not accustomed to considering yourself. That's the discomforts of purpose. The discomforts of not going out to preach at some new church or open up something. It's like, wow, I have to see myself different. I have to see myself greater than my friends have seen me. I've allowed myself to just be under the radar. My family doesn't think I can do anything. And they're not cursing me. They're just keeping me low because I'm afraid to be out there. So they are protecting me with their love. The discomfortability comes when you break away from the love that people are safeguarding you with, and you're saying, I'm going to step out and I'm going to be this great vessel to myself. How great do I see myself? Am I my own hero? Am I the hero to me? Does my own life enjoy looking at me when I wake up in the morning? How do I relate seeing myself? I'm saved, I could be a believer or what have you, but you can still be the weakest in your clan. You can still be the weakest in your own mind. Even though you're a believer, you can still be the weakest in your own feeling. You understand? That's the discomfort of purpose. Am I ready to see myself greater than I've seen myself? And am I ready to respond? I want everybody to treat me like a hero, but I'm not treating myself that way. That's an uncomfortable thing when you're not accustomed with creating tension for being. Because once you get a hold of yourself, it's going to create a war. Once you begin to see who you really are, it's going to create a war with people who've seen you as a child. There are some of you right now that are grown, but life has seen you as a child. So now it's time to be grown. So when you are grown, when nobody told you to grow up, life will have a way of trying to cut you back down to size because your familiar places didn't tell you that you could grow up. How many of you right now, before I go, are in a place where life didn't give you permission to grow up? So now you are growing up against the will of life, and it's trying to put you back in your place. That's the discomforts of purpose. When you decide to grow up and nobody gave you permission to. See, Gideon stayed weak to the point he said the whole family is. But now here comes God telling him, go and deliver the country. Go and deliver the country. Go with what you have. He said, I don't have nothing. So now before I go, God may be saying, go and deliver yourself. Go and deliver yourself with the strength you have. Go and set yourself free from the clutches of doubt and familiarity and fear. Go and set your country free. Touch yourself and say, I am my country. I am where I live. And so God is saying, go and set yourself free. Go and set your house free from what you think. That's the discomforts of purpose. Go and set yourself free. Go and set your city free. Not this city, but this city. Go and set yourself free. Destiny is a play on the mind. It's how we feel about us. We all share shouting room at church, but we all don't share emotional stability in great esteem of ourselves. And some of us get into ministry because that's the easiest place to be a leader, is to go preach. So you get instant respect